She was 43, 2 kids, a husband who adored her. To everyone else, her life looked perfect. But one morning she looked in the mirror and saw a stranger staring back. That day, she didn't just question her reflection. She questioned everything: her marriage, her choices, her entire identity. And that's how most women's midlife crises begin, quietly, invisibly, until it's too late. We've all heard of the male midlife crisis: the sports cars, the affairs, the sudden obsession with the gym. But here's the brutal truth nobody talks about. Women have a midlife crisis too. Only theirs doesn't look loud or reckless. It's subtle. It's emotional. It looks like a distance you can feel but can't quite explain. It starts small. A sigh after the kids are finally in bed. A look in the mirror that lasts just a little too long. A question she never dared to ask before: is this really my life? The 40s hit women differently. The kids grow up and don't need her in the same way. Her husband, comfortable in their routine, stops noticing the little things. Her body changes, her energy shifts, and suddenly, the version of herself she's been for 20 years. It just doesn't fit anymore. It's not necessarily anger. It's disconnection. She starts wondering what happened to the woman she used to be, the one who laughed easily, who dreamed wildly, who felt truly alive. And once that thought takes root, it never really leaves. Here's what most men miss. A woman's midlife crisis isn't about rebellion. It's about identity collapse. For decades, she's been the glue holding everything together: the mother, the wife, the caregiver. Every title she's ever held has been defined by her relationship to someone else. Then one day, she wakes up and realizes she's spent her entire life meeting everyone else's needs but her own. And that realization is terrifying. Because when a woman loses her sense of self, she starts reaching for anything that makes her feel again. It often begins with small, seemingly harmless changes. A new haircut that feels more her. More selfies on social media, accompanied by captions about self-love and personal growth. She might start reconnecting with old friends from college. Maybe even that one guy from years ago who suddenly messages her, just wanting to check in. It's not always about cheating. It's about feeling seen. It's about chasing a spark, a jolt of feeling alive that she hasn't felt in decades. To her, this feels like a rebirth, a rediscovery. But to her husband, it can look like betrayal. And in that misunderstanding, that growing emotional gap, is where marriages silently begin to fall apart. Most men never see it coming. They genuinely think everything is fine, that their life is stable and happy. Until one day, she says the words that change everything: "I love you, but I'm not in love with you anymore." That single sentence has ended more marriages than infidelity ever will. Because when a woman's sense of purpose collapses, no amount of logic, loyalty, or even love can save the relationship at that moment. She's not running away from you. She's running from the version of herself she became *with you. So she starts over with a new career, new friends, a new lifestyle. She calls it freedom, but what it really is an escape from an identity she no longer recognizes in the mirror. And here's the painful paradox. In trying to find herself, she often ends up losing everything that once gave her meaning and stability. And society, it doesn't help. It bombards women with messages like, "You deserve more. Follow your heart. Reinvent yourself." but it never warns them about the true cost of that reinvention. The magazines call it empowerment, but half the time, it's just confusion with good lighting. We've built a culture that tells women they can have it all: the perfect career, the perfect kids, the eternal romance, the youthful looks. And when that impossible fantasy inevitably cracks, they blame their lives instead of the lie they were sold. It's not their fault. They're chasing the same illusion society promised would make them whole, but whole never comes from the outside. It has to be built from within. So, what can be done? You can't stop the storm, but you can learn to see it coming. For the men watching this, stop believing she changed overnight. That shift was building for years, quietly, in all the moments you thought everything was fine. Listen when she withdraws. Notice when her laughter fades. Ask her what she's dreaming about these days, because her silence is where the crisis begins. And for the women who feel this way, stop believing that escape equals freedom. You don't need a new man or a new life to feel whole again. You need to rebuild the connection with yourself that got buried under years of duty, motherhood, and expectations. Start with small steps to rediscover who you are outside of your roles. The midlife crisis in women is real. It's invisible, it's emotional, and it can be devastating, not because they're broken, but because they've forgotten who they were before the world told them who they had to be. And if we keep pretending this doesn't exist, we won't just keep losing marriages, we'll keep losing people who once believed love was enough. If this resonated with you, please share your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about this openly. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more conversations that matter. Thanks for watching.